Have you ever wondered why many millennials seem to be drowning in debt? It's a question that's been ringing in our ears for quite some time now. The answer, though complex, is rooted in a combination of factors. Firstly, we have the gargantuan burden of student loans. The dream of higher education has been sold to millennials since childhood, but the price tag that comes with it is often overwhelming. Secondly, the soaring cost of living. From skyrocketing housing prices to the daily essentials, the expenses seem to be growing at a pace that far outstrips income growth. And let's not forget about the wages. Despite being the most educated generation to date, millennials are often grappling with stagnant wages and underemployment, making it challenging to keep up with rising costs. These factors combined create a financial whirlpool, making it incredibly hard for millennials to stay afloat. But what if there was a way to break free from this cycle of debt? Before we delve into solutions, it's crucial to understand what debt really is. At its core, debt is money borrowed by one party from another. But not all debt is created equal. We have good debt and bad debt. Good debt is an investment that grows in value or generates long-term income. Think student loans or mortgages. On the flip side, bad debt is generally associated with purchases that quickly lose value and do not generate long-term income. Credit card debt is a classic example. Debt, especially the bad kind, can significantly impact millennials' financial health. It can hinder your ability to save, invest, or even just make ends meet. It can also cause significant stress and anxiety. However, it's not all doom and gloom. Debt can be managed and even eliminated. With a clear understanding of debt, it's time to explore how to manage it effectively. Now let's navigate the path to a debt-free life. The first step to becoming debt-free is creating a budget. It's time to examine your income and expenses closely. Start by tracking your spending for a month or two. This will give you a clear picture of where your money is going. Then, divide your expenses into two categories: needs and wants. Your needs are the essentials, like food, housing, and healthcare. Your wants, on the other hand, are the extras. These might include dining out, entertainment, or that new gadget you've been eyeing. Once you've identified these, it's time to make some tough decisions. You might need to cut back on some of your wants to free up more money for debt repayment. Next, it's time to prioritize your debts. Not all debts are created equal. Some have higher interest rates than others, and these are the ones you should focus on first. This method, known as the avalanche method, can save you a lot of money in interest over time. Start by listing all your debts, from the highest interest rate to the lowest. Then, while making minimum payments on all your debts, put any extra money towards the debt with the highest interest rate. Once that's paid off, move on to the next one. Now let's talk about finding additional income streams. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, it might seem impossible to find extra money for debt repayment. But with a little creativity, you can boost your income. Consider picking up a side gig, selling unneeded items, or even turning a hobby into a money-making venture. Remember, every extra dollar you earn can be put towards your debt. But what if you're dealing with a large amount of debt and feel overwhelmed? Don't despair. There are professionals who can help. Credit counseling agencies can provide guidance and help you develop a personalized plan to tackle your debt. Debt consolidation or a debt management plan might also be options worth considering. While you're working on becoming debt-free, it's crucial to keep building your emergency fund. Life is unpredictable, and having a safety net can prevent you from falling back into debt if unexpected expenses arise. Finally, remember that becoming debt-free is a journey that requires patience. It won't happen overnight. But with each debt you pay off, you'll gain more freedom and control over your finances. You'll start to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and that's a powerful motivator to keep going. The road to becoming debt-free may seem challenging, but it's a journey worth taking. It's about more than just money. It's about gaining the freedom to live life on your terms, without the constant worry of debt hanging over your head. Remember, the journey to a debt-free life requires consistency and discipline. Stick with it and you'll reap the rewards in the end. Scene script. Once you've climbed out of debt, the challenge is to stay on top of your financial game. It's like reaching the peak of a mountain, only to realize you must navigate your way down without tumbling over. But don't worry, we've got some practical tips to help you stay debt-free. First, let's talk about saving. It's crucial to set aside a portion of your income each month. You've probably heard the saying, pay yourself first. Well, that's exactly what this is about. Before you spend on anything else, set aside a percentage for your savings. This cushion will help you avoid falling back into debt in case of unexpected expenses. Next, we need to address investing. You've worked hard for your money, Now let your money work hard for you. Investing is not as scary as it seems. Start with low-risk options like a savings account with a high interest rate or a retirement account. As you get more comfortable, you can explore other options such as stocks, bonds, or real estate. Remember, the goal is to create multiple streams of income so you're not solely dependent on your day job. Now let's talk about living within your means. This is the cornerstone of staying debt-free. It's easy to be tempted by the shiny new gadgets, the latest fashion trends, or that luxury vacation. But remember, every dollar spent on these is a dollar less in your savings. Create a budget and stick to it. Prioritize needs over wants. And if you really want something, save up for it. Don't rely on credit cards for impulse purchases. Lastly, it's important to keep educating yourself about personal finance. Read books, listen to podcasts, attend seminars or webinars. Knowledge is power, and the more you know, the better decisions you'll make. Staying debt-free is not about deprivation. It's about making smart financial decisions. It's about being in control of your money rather than letting your money control you. And remember, the journey to financial freedom is a marathon, not a sprint. So take it one step at a time. There are many misconceptions about debt that can hold you back. Ever heard the saying, debt is a normal part of life? Well, let's pull the curtain back on this myth. Debt is not a normal part of life. It's a financial burden that can lead to stress, and it limits your financial freedom. Sure, it might be common, but that doesn't mean it's normal or healthy. The goal should always be to live within your means and work towards a debt-free future. Here's another myth. I'll always have a credit card to fall back on. This is a dangerous belief and an unhealthy reliance on credit. Credit cards can be useful tools, but they are not safety nets. They're high-interest loans that can quickly spiral out of control if not managed properly. Instead of relying on credit cards for emergencies, aim to build an emergency fund. This way, you're prepared for unexpected expenses without falling into debt. Some people believe that you need debt to build credit. While it's true that managing debt responsibly can help build your credit score, it's not the only way. You can also build credit by paying your bills on time and maintaining a low credit utilization rate. Remember, a good credit score is not an indicator of wealth, but of debt management. It's possible to have a great credit score and still be drowning in debt. Finally, let's bust the myth of good debt versus bad debt. While it's true that some forms of debt, like student loans or mortgages, can be seen as an investment in your future, it's important to remember that debt is still debt. It's money you owe, and it comes with interest. There's no such thing as completely good debt. By debunking these myths, you can take control of your financial future. We've covered a lot of ground today, so let's quickly summarize. We started off by acknowledging the money struggles that millennials face, particularly the burden of debt. We then delved into understanding what debt really is, and how it can impact our financial health and overall well-being. We moved on to the step-by-step guide to becoming debt-free, emphasizing the importance of a clear plan, discipline, and patience. We also shared practical tips to stay debt-free, from budgeting to mindful spending and saving. Lastly, we debunked some common debt myths, clarifying that not all debt is bad, and that it's possible to utilize debt in a way that can actually enhance your financial position. Remember, becoming debt-free is a journey, not a destination. With the right mindset and tools, you can conquer your financial challenges and pave the way for a secure financial future.